Hey YouTube, LegionxMoose here, and I'm going to continue playing Tale of Rise. Now, as you can see, I'm going to be facing a boss battle because I thought in last episode I might as well just stop it here because a lot has happened. We arrived in Legionx and it's in ruins, mainly because the planet thing opened up, and we're in a forbidden zone, and I forgot why we're here in the first place. I think it's probably to uncover more of Alphon's story about his past. Because before we opened that oval door thing there, they were bombarded with a flashback. Okay. Why, she's back.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait.
Why does she look possessed?
Something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
Or did the red woman did something to her? Oh, she got one of the master cores. The dark master core. What the F is that?
A summoning?
But that's preposterous.
Like a mutated Gilgamesh, but without the weapons.
Here it comes.
Tormented limbs.
I've
Well,
never known Faria to control noodles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core? Where did she get her
Damn.
hands on that?
First we handle the super. Then we get some answers.
what's the weakness at the back of this? Oh, the blue thing doesn't look like weakness.
me off. Switch off.
Can you take it?
Oh,
I'll take you all on.
right, go. She's gonna use her mystic arts.
Flares and Lailah.
Here's a healing art.
Good.
Can't get out of this.
Here I come.
I can carve through
It's in the
armor.
sky. It's flying.
Take this.
This one keeps charging us.
That's what my shield is for. Get behind me.
Got it. I'll leave it to you.
But that's if I know he was about to charge. No point using her now. But
Here's a healing art.
You picked the wrong fight.
alright, good. He's down.
Dragon
This
form.
one's mine.
I'm not done. Devastation.
This is some punishment.
What the hell was that screaming?
Take this.
Oh crap. Everyone's dead? My goodness, I thought at least one was
A
alive.
new lease on life. I'm all stocked up.
I have to take this very... I have to be very strategic about this and let him aggro on me. Shionne, you freaking stupid bitch. She literally just walked into his attack.
Imbue this Can't get out of.
No, you're not gonna use your thingy. One health is down. Alright, good. Everyone's keeping their distance.
Can you take it? I can carve through armor.
It's wide open.
Okay, excellent. His car's broken. Well, you're not, oh, I thought he was already done with his attack patterns.
Take this.
Here I come.
Come on. You have to hold on. This one's mine.
Swallow blade! Dragon form! Ah!
Let me dodge that way. Good.
Resuscitation!
Here,
Dragon form!
nothing gets by me. Denied.
Eternal devastation! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Time to start.
Ready!
Bloody howling.
Good, good.
Now you see what I can do.
Dragon
Big
form!
one's mine.
Coming through! Ha!
I know I've got more mystic arts, but I don't know how to perform them.
Inferno!
Because I just keep constantly using that one and it looks generic.
Not a chance!
Hurricane, here, let me help.
Here I come!
Oh, that was sick what I just did.
Stay away from my friends!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Swallow blade!
Shionne, I don't think.
Dragon form! Swallow beyond!
Imbue this thing.
Here I go!
with life.
And more of this and I'll burn
Damn it.
out!
Okay, pineapple.
This should do it! You're mine! Dragon form! You picked the wrong fight!
Do it!
Good.
This ends now!
I'm guessing we are halfway point.
I'll bring you
Yeah.
back from death's abyss!
Dragon form! Swallow blade!
Shattering pieces. Attack time.
Dragon form!
Where are you going?
Oh, it's unleashing its own mystic arts.
Form! It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out!
Dragon form!
Here, let me help.
Try harder! Not
Good, good, good. That move is like deadly because he just like disappears. And he's gonna do it again. Oh, he's going to charge. Charge.
Here's a healing art.
Take this!
First
Dragon
aid.
form!
As long as aggro's on me, then
Here goes.
it's like honestly fine. Because I can handle all this bullshit. There you go.
Not today!
Can't get out of this.
Dragon form!
Oh, he didn't.
There.
He didn't get staggered.
You're mine! Slap! Dragon form!
Did I dodge? No, I did not.
Dragon form!
Now you see what I can do.
I let my guard down.
Here I go. Let the mark him.
Dragon form!
Negative gate.
I never miss.
Take this! Swallow blade!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Not in your dreams.
Grinwell.
Radiant light. Here.
Oh, come on.
My turn! Take this! You'll pay for that! This will burn mine! Burn!
Flaming meteor.
Dragon form!
At least he's down. I need to go to the front of him. That's where his weakness is.
Resuscitation.
Swallow blade!
Annihilation.
For the wicked.
Time to shine. Anything in armor is in your hands now. Armor won't sink on the ground.
Nice law.
Dragon form!
Tiger blade.
Actually, yeah, I'm just going to get rid of Dohlim. Put law there.
Go.
Dragon show.
Into the tower.
Swallow blade!
This one's mine.
I don't feel so hot.
Come on, Pizarro.
And miss all the fun. No way.
Ready.
Alright. More pineapple on this.
Glacial spear. Pierce the
It's on!
And I use a life bottle on Kisara.
Dragon form! Not today!
All fitted you hear it now.
This one's mine.
Swallow blade!
Constantine.
Mega
I'm almost impressed. I said almost.
Alright, I didn't realize it was on red.
Swallow blade!
It's gonna spin.
Shield and face. Armor won't save you.
Healing
Ready to go. Slash. Far enough. First strike.
Dragon
This
form!
one's mine.
Yeah, I should not have done that.
Glacial ice.
Flame inside me yearns
Come on.
to be let free!
Tear you apart.
Alright, I was in range.
Dragon form!
I'm hurricane.
Dragon form!
Rip and tear.
Come on, spam your moves.
Eat this.
Here comes the flame!
Try to dodge.
Good.
Dragon Force!
Not like this!
First aid!
You're mine! Swallow Blade!
Here goes!
Come and get it!
Not in your dreams!
Will this help?
Now you see what I can do!
Dragon Swarm!
Use.
Eat this! Here I come!
Appreciate your help!
My turn!
Watch this!
On guard! I never miss!
Dragon Swarm!
Eat this!
Slash!
He's gonna spin around and dodge out the way.
Dragon
Oh,
Swarm!
everyone's closer together. I don't need that. Oh,
Here's a healer! First aid!
I'm not done!
Bring you back from death to
Dragon
death!
Swarm! Eternal Devastation! Coming through! Ha! Now!
this should be the final attack. Oh, it's going 0. Oh, there you go.
Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
I thought then in the middle of that art, so why isn't taking any damage? We killed him in the middle of it. Again, another easy fight. That's a boss battle.
Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't reached any
She's preparing another summoning!
The art
like I haven't been stuck in one of the boss fights for me to
At this
grind.
rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Oh, you just destroyed her uterus. Not only did you kill her betrothed, but you killed her chance of having a baby
I thought
too.
we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
You should have just like hit her on the neck,
Shionne,
like all the
please,
other when you watch
can you
animes.
treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case,
I'll take her off your hands.
you? Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same
Yeah,
goes
the
for
red
you
lady.
as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear. But those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness,
Nah, she got curves.
acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living, not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Or another way to
You
think
have
about
to
it,
live
just
for
move on.
tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shionne,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her.
Alright,
as
everyone
well.
leveled up except for me
I'm
and
most
Shionne.
grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Anything else to get from here? More skits.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed
Well,
or
so
otherwise.
did the Red Woman
Feelings of resentment
control
feels
the
towards me
people
are
of
real.
Someone
Legion?
used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack
The Red
was meant
Woman,
for
she
us alone.
looks
Or
like the
someone
ultimate
capable of getting
being,
inside a person and manipulating them
like
like a
she's
weapon.
God or something like that.
We need to find whoever it is, fast.
Because she just appears out of nowhere. Oh, I need to go to that portal.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
I should hearing voices.
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
Well, this more flashback. They look like they're inside the wedge, performing the ceremony.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
Oh yeah, we saw this. So that's the origin of the thorns. Oh, I get it. She's the one that killed them all. That's why she was crying. I think. It has to be that. Because I don't see him having all the power to do all that destruction. Okay, so we're not going to find out yet.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shionne's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
It was passed down.
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shionne's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
The main thing I want to know is what happened when you had the blackouts. Because that's the only thing that you don't remember.
What I said earlier. Come on, let's
Everything
go.
else can be remembered soon enough.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony
I'm not
that
moving.
occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, you might very well learn the truth behind Shionne's thorns. As well as my own past, I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I just need a little time first.
Well, might as well just
That vision
go
we saw.
through.
It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think.
Well, she spooked.
What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway?
Why is Scooter
Seems
looking at
unlikely
Law
it
like
happened
that?
naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300
Feels
years.
like he's enough of his shit.
Whoever left it for us, The strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.
Like he's annoyed at law. Then again, them two have fierce rivalry. I want to go back, but I just don't want to. I don't want to go through all that shit again. But I don't know what's on the other side. Alright, I'm just gonna save it quickly and then we'll just go through the thing.
Soon, I have to be ready
Like if
to
worst
face
comes to
undetermined-
worst, then I can at least backtrack and get all my equipment.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past,
I was gonna
right?
say this place looks familiar.
Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
For the people of Lenegus, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk about an exclusive club.
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was
Plus,
only
Alphen
one
was a
room,
Danon.
maybe. But a place on this scale? How did they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign
And I'm
is.
pretty sure they said
They
like he
can't
was
manage
made
the
into
upkeep of
sovereign
this whole place
without going
themselves.
through the crown
Did
contest.
no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority. Grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long.
Alright, so these are operating tables and those are like nah, they look like batteries. I was gonna say that looks like a sleeping pod, but we already seen what those are or what they look
I
like.
think I can make this work.
That's a lot of gibberish.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Yeah, that's Alphen.
Sovereign!
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, It may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful.
Yeah, we do know all of them were failures except one, which
Test
is
subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique Adjustment Index, Generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
Yep.
They've re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Oh, so that means was Volrun
Test
another
subject
one?
number 10105. Ethnicity,
Because
NA.
he also
Unique
was
Adjustment
the
Index,
Sovereign
Generation, NA.
without winning the
Given
crown
name.
contest.
Volron.
Yep.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
I'm guessing Volrun is new and Alphen is old. Because I don't think it was stated that Volrun
But
was
what
in
about
sleep.
the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest.
Okay, so crown contest was
It's all
bullshit.
lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
And we need to find out what purpose is that.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
No, a red
the
woman.
Red Woman?
Jinx.
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where... Only 2 sovereigns in over 300 years. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it? Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I wonder what's the purpose of the Sovereign.
I'm
Is
a
it
little
just to
shaky,
keep
that's
the
all.
astral energy in check?
I knew what I was already.
But we get to see in a
So it's
flashback
not like
with
it's a surprise or
Niori
anything.
that
It's strange.
something went
I've
wrong
got all this rage inside
with
of me,
her
but I don't
because
even
of
know
the
who it's
thorns
for.
and
I'm scared
the
that I'll put a
demon
face to it,
inside that void.
just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, then No. Then
So
we'd help
technically
you
we
fight
don't
it
know
before
what the
you ever
Sovereign
got that far.
does or what the purpose is.
Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah, we wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being
And the
consumed
Maiden
by
helped the
hatred.
Sovereign
If you ever
do
start
the
to lose your
ceremony
way,
with the
you can
astral
count on us
energies.
to guide you back, to remind you where home is.
But
And
to
I
what
would be happy
purpose,
to lend an
we don't
attentive
know.
ear, should you ever have need.
Or I
Thank you,
should say, I
everyone.
don't know yet.
I think I'll be okay now.
Yep, no one cares. I wonder where they sleep, unless this was a bed. Because this looks like a bed, but it's a freaking giant computer. Wait, did I miss anything? Yep. Good thing I saw the blue thing on the map. Okay, more flashback. Hopefully this shows what happened in the chaos.
Naori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you endured.
Still sounds like chaos
Renan
is
never should
outside.
have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further.
Yeah, we read about this.
Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
Okay, so
His
we didn't
injuries are
see
worse
the
than I thought.
destruction.
Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lennigus will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
That vision.
I'm guessing
It
those
must have
masks
been
are
from when
known to
Naori
put people
helped
to
Alphen
sleep.
escape
If that's the
Lennigus.
case, then why didn't the guards at the beginning of the
She
game
sure went above and
know what they
beyond the
were.
call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put
Or I
with
guess
her
the
people.
Lord.
So that's why you
Then
lost
again, it's
your
been a long
memories and
time
sense of pain, and why you were
since the
asleep for
beginning
that
of the
whole
game.
time. It was all the result of one
So
agonizing
maybe
decision Maori made to
Balzac
save
commented
your life.
on it, or Ganon Belt.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me, and made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Nothing's here. Odd. Well, let's see what's behind this door. Yeah, it's got that weird sound.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Oh, so that
course.
wasn't inside the wedge. Oh, inside this.
After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Ooh, she's the Oracle. You can see the
Is
future.
this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Okay, so we
Linked to
know what
Lenegis itself?
the Sovereign is now.
But then,
or what the purpose is.
everything that's been happening.
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to
Okay,
seal
so
that
he
power
did
away
do the
inside of
damage
me.
then, killing all those people and such.
But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well.
Okay, so I was right, being that it was passed down.
Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Well, she's gonna say something important, but the message cut out.
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danan voice speaking through her?
Alright, cool, got new outfits. And Shionne looks exactly like Naori.
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shionne, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shionne.
But where do we look to find the Renis Alma?
You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril, it's selfish of
It's
me.
a good thing
I
that the
know,
maiden outfit is
but
exactly
still.
like her regular outfit.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Rennis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shionne at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore
Hope
is
it's not
bound to be a
tiring for
useful
Huto to
asset.
keep flying
And they
like that.
say modesty is dead.
No, they said chivalry's dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
And women killed it.
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shionne. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shionne. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony, and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories.
Is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No, the truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack.
Oh wow.
Embracing everyone. All the normal things that
What is
people
that
do
expression?
together. I always wished I could experience
Does that
them
mean
for
Huto's
myself
happy?
and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead. And it's for my sake. So I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
Okay, where to now? Oh, definitely need that one. Wait, can I choose for her to use this instead of the individual ones? Okay, I got a new sword. Oh, sick, a new art as well, that's cool. Well, I don't know what Shionne's doing. Okay, so it's really smart of me not to craft that weapon. Alright, cool.
Sounds like this Naori chick had quite the big heart.
Her position demanded nothing less. From the sound of things, she didn't focus on differences, least of all those between Renans and Danans.
Yeah. It was Naori who first showed me that such a thing was even possible. And then she saved my life by sending me back home to Dana.
Not only that, but she willingly stayed behind on Lenegis for the sake of her people. It sounds like she was quite the hero, all right. A truly caring person.
It's as if walls meant nothing to her. The ones separating the Renans from the Danans, or herself from others. She had no need for them.
Which basically meant that she never had anything to break down in the first place, huh? Yeah. I think you may be right about that.
You inherited that legacy. Her wish for the world.
Don't I know it?
She's kind of like a lodestar guiding our way, showing us what we can aspire to.
So what, now we need to escape? Okay, further, so it's here.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
I mean, for endgame, you really do need endgame drip. It's a good thing that the people from 300 years ago thought of that. Because you certainly don't want to wear, like,
This is it, guys.
streetwear clothes.
Time to see what secrets are in store.
You need to look elegant and powerful. Okay, so I'm guessing another boss fight since this is here.
We're a long way from the residential quarters now. It looks completely different.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, this place... it reminds me more of being back inside the wedge.
Except the Danan astral energy feels even stronger here.
In a portion of the city reserved purely for the Renin Sovereign.
Maybe he just has strange tastes?
This place looks like it has been here for quite some time now. If its design were a matter of personal preference, we would be talking from centuries ago. Or perhaps even further back. Still, this isn't the sort of decadence of taste spoken of in artistic circles. So what is it then?
Hold up, decadence? Artistic circles?
When a preference is indulged to its extreme, it descends into kitsch,
Too many big
eccentricity
words.
for the sake of it. I'd be happy to illuminate you further.
That depends. Does it involve you buying me lunch?
The void that art fills isn't the
No,
stomach.
I thought Law was gonna
It's the
say he doesn't
soul.
understand what you're saying.
In that case, I'll let you know the next time my soul starts to rumble.
Now all we need is something to fill up the void inside your head.
Shut up!
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling
Oh,
ceremony?
so he's muttering the same way,
Wait,
not
Thomas.
Niori. Shionne
Something
was.
doesn't seem right here.
Place. Oh, once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Renna, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
So this is substitute for the Maiden, and he's a sovereign.
That's what caused Lenegis' transformation.
And this is the Renna's
The purpose of
armor.
the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what
So they're gonna do the
purpose?
same thing again.
What could possibly need
Just
astral
without,
energy
Shionne
on
or
that
Alphen.
sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renna's Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
Is she ever gonna speak?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible?
And she cloned herself.
What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be.
Oh no.
Are they even people?
I thought they're gonna be only one, but three.
For sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Renna.
Oh, so is this their true form?
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
Burning strike! Hurricane strike! Armor won't save you! And this one's mine! Taking pile driver!
Right, but how do you
Pierce the evil!
Take this! Shot! Radiant light! Regeneration! Regen!
You pay for that!
Oh, Jocelyn is dead.
Swallow blade!
I'll bring you back from death abyss!
Denied!
This isn't looking good.
What the hell do I do?
Swallow blade! Dragon form!
Hurricane strike! Lunar collision!
This one's all mine!
The power of
Burn
water!
it down!
Another!
Swallow blade!
Well, that was useless. I tried to use the firepower, but it was interrupted. Let's try again.
Shattering the hurricane thing! Attack time! One more!
Take this!
This one never missed!
Did it all share the same health? Yeah, they do.
Bathed in blood.
Dragon you I'll smash you! Crescent moon! Down!
Come on.
No! Can't! Here!
Forgive me. Shionne! In a bind! Hurricane
Okay, so they look like they're all.
Forgive me.
Swallow blade! Swallow blade! No escape! No escape!
Bring you back
Dragon form!
Piercing roar!
It's over! Swallow blade!
Their arts were interrupted.
Dragon form! With the earth! Stay away from my friend! Swallow blade! This one!
Bring you back from death
You picked the wrong fight! Slash! Dragon form!
Okay, we got rid of one health bar.
I never miss!
Swallow blade! Dragon!
I can carve through armor!
Lunar corruption!
Swallow blade! Dragon beam!
I owe you.
Swallow blade!
Into the shadows!
Too shy to come over!
Swallow
Here,
form!
let me
Dragon form!
I could do without
Swallow blade!
Here! Lunar arc!
You picked the wrong fight!
Alright, let me just heal quick. Honestly, what I'm doing, I'm just spamming moves. Hopefully that something will stick.
Swallow blade!
What am I doing? Stop.
Swallow blade!
Okay, so I need to quickly interrupt whatever they're doing.
Radiant light! You're mine! I'll smash you!
Being interrupted.
Come on, Dohalim. Stop being a little bitch.
Dragon Swarm! Look sharp! Dragon Swarm!
And also, pineapple.
Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine.
Swallow Blade!
Confiscated.
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane strike. First aid. On guard.
I mean, we're close enough to use the special attack if we get it halfway.
Glacial spear. Here's the evil. This one's mine.
Flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Shattering.
I'm grateful.
Oh crap.
My reach is even wider.
Dragon
Now
Swarm!
corruption.
Can't get out of this.
Swallow Blade! Swallow Blade!
Please stay like this. It'll be perfect.
Swallow Blade!
Don't suffer.
Ready to go.
Swallow Blade!
Far enough.
Dragon Swarm!
Here's the healing heart.
They smite with black and
Swallow
flame.
Blade!
I'm out of it. I'm going to need to use
Damn it.
my healing heart.
Dragon Swarm!
I couldn't make it in time.
Swallow Blade! It's time! Swallow Blade! Eat this! Take this! Swallow Blade! Dragon Swarm!
Okay, Laura's gonna be close. There you go.
Allow me to help you.
Smash you! Struck! Dragon Blade!
That'll bring you down.
Dragon Swarm! Swallow Blade! Try harder!
My healing heart.
Good counter attack.
Dragon Swarm! Dragon Swarm!
Oh, he's there. Gonna do it yet. Dodge out of it. Oh.
Dragon Swarm! Dragon
Can't
Swarm!
get out of this.
The flame inside me yearns!
Damn it. That was my fault. That's my fault.
Don't leave me. Here's a healing heart.
Okay, that was their fault.
Dragon Swarm!
Freaking
Swallow Blade!
idiots.
Swallow Blade!
Shionne, what are you doing?
No rest for the wicked.
Ready.
From beyond, imbue this vanquished hero with life.
Ignite!
Good. She helped herself.
Train harder.
Swallow Blade!
Need to put her life on her. There you go.
Dragon
Oh, shut up, Alphen. For that and no.
They smite with black. Can't move.
Fuck's sake. All right. That's that, but I'm dead, so that'll be useless. I have to do it like this. Then do it like that. I mean, I was hoping not to get resuscitated, but I have no idea where they are.
Don't give up. Look sharp. Not in your dreams.
Because they ended red.
No further.
Swallow Blade!
Here's a healing art. This one's mine.
I can carve through armor.
Dragon Force!
Okay, just swap law for. No, not yet.
This should do it! From beyond!
By the power of water.
This one's all mine! Ignite! it! Dragon form!
Sorry,
Come on, let me just.
Dragon form!
I let my guard down.
Shine! Radiant light!
I'll bring you back from
Regeneration!
Regenerate!
Dragon form!
Resuscitation!
Dragon form!
Allow me to help you.
Swallow blade! Dragon form!
Can I dodge?
Healing circle! Hurricane strike! I'll bring you back from death to I owe you one back. On guard!
I let my guard down.
No rest for the wicked. Swallow blade! Dragon swarm! Slash! It's all mine! Swallow blade! Not today! Eagle ray!
That'll bring you down!
Vicious awakening!
Not on my watch!
Imbue this vanquished soul with
Here, let
life!
me help!
Dragon swarm! Resuscitation! Swallow blade!
Come on, let me release. Can I dodge it for a counter attack?
Take this! Slash! Lunar arc! Dragon swarm!
Come on, we're getting closer, we're getting close.
Can't end here! Dragon swarm!
Take this!
Slash! Dragon swarm!
I'll heal you all!
Slash! You with the shot! Slash!
Going in! I won't give up!
You! Stay away from my friend!
Fail.
Now you see what I can do!
She needs to be alive.
Hit one more! Eagle ray! Lunar corridor!
Not today!
Gemini Aqua! Going in! Here!
I let my guard down.
Swallow blade!
Lunar
Dragon form!
Beyond!
Imbue this vanquished soul with life!
Alright, good. If they're like that, then it's easy because I can just
Swallow blade!
wreck them. Kisara, stop being an idiot.
Time to shine!
Dragon form!
In a vine?
Smash your dreams!
Yeah, they're done.
Everlasting dark.
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here, let me help!
What? What happened? Thank God.
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alvin!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
No, he's awake.
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think?
Yeah, and here he goes, going to
Did you
destroy
really
all
think
the
that
party
such a
members
petty
for the
device
third
could
time.
hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Voron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a
slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renin and caused all that
I was just gonna
suffering
say
to his
that
own
then.
people?
How could you?
Because he is also a lord
Why would you inflict that upon others?
that exclusively to the Renans.
Meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
Oh. Is she Fate?
a red woman.
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alva!
Uh-oh, same thing happening as before.
Too late! You can't stay here!
We need to go! Outfit!
Uh-oh, they're separated. Why does a platform look like a love heart? Jump. Honestly, I said what would be cool if he fell down to her and all of them like made a bridge and they all took the pain just to save her. That would be cool.
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Like he fall, extend his arm to Lord, Lord grabs it, extend it to Rinwell, and so on and so on.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
In fire?
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Honestly, I doubt it since
Those red women.
we killed him
What
the
the heck
first
was
time
their
and
deal?
he was taken
Could
away
they
from
be
us.
the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renus Alma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Renna.
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their
We've
true
been in
identity,
Dana, that's where we were throughout the
shudder to
whole
think who
game,
they take orders
fighting
from.
all the lords.
Yeah. There's a good
Lennigus
chance
is where
it's
we are
not
right now,
human.
so the last place we need
That's
to
for
look
sure.
for is Arena. I mean, the last
So this
place.
thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renasolma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
Alright, cool, so we're leaving this
But
place.
seriously,
I didn't see that coming about Volron. As for those red women, to think they were monsters all along.
tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly human. Next thing you know, they're not actually human at all.
They definitely weren't Renan or Danon. I'm not even sure language would get through to them.
So what were they then? Human Zoogle hybrids?
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all day.
How about you, Shionne? Dohalim? You ever seen anything like that before?
I got any
No,
sneaks.
never. However, if they're the same as the Red Woman we've seen with Volron, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand our language at the very least.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them. About Rena. And Shionne's thorns.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they do such a thing, though? To take us with them? Or in order to keep something hidden?
Both sound plausible to my ears. They took off with the Renasolma too, remember?
Yeah, they did. And the next time we meet them, we're going to make sure they tell us everything they know.
Else you have to walk all the way down. Down, down. And I'm pretty sure this place is empty anyway, so I don't need to worry about enemies. Yeah, I got that shell chest. So they do respawn back, just when you don't need it. Oh, jump the gun. Right, this part is not empty. Yep.
More energy than I expected.
Where do you go? Yeah, do you go that way?
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
Well, we made it out of the Forbidden Zone.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone?
Doe?
You two.
Now she's back to her
Faria,
senses.
Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnagin, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lennigus is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
Give them food.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Dohalim.
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Weren't those the fun boys of different lords?
Now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among men. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
The message will destruct in 5 seconds.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
So when the story is over, is he going to be the next authority?
You can't be serious.
The Lord of Lenegis.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Tarnigan's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
So that says path after the story is over. Being the ruler of Lenegis. Didn't even have to think about that. Ultimate ingredient. What's the ultimate ingredient? Okay, so these are super fights. Super Zoogles. Defeat all lights damage from the wedge.
Looks like the people of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values, resigned to being swept along, without the resolve to take a stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment, a lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why, that's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menancia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
My goodness.
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look
So
distracted?
these skits are basically
Among other
revolved
things.
around Dohalim
To be entirely
and
honest,
Kisara.
I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
Wait, do I still need to talk to that lady that was trying to find her way back home? Guess I could make 3 weapons, and of course Dohalim's always struggling without one. Well, I need 1 megafauna bone. Where the hell do I get that? Since we can't fast travel out of there, I'm guessing there's gonna be more story elements or story cutscenes. What the hell? This is still happening. Well, if it's still happening, then lady give up. Because that child's dead. Oh, the girl disappeared. And it's time for us to leave Lenegis. Nothing there. I thought it was gonna be treasure. Or a plant of some sort.
thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renaissance. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should...
What the hell happened?
What?
The music just instantly cut off as soon as Rinwell screamed. Okay, so they are powerful enough that they can stand outside of space. In the vacuum of space. Oh, so we've been teleported. Well, I hope this ship is alright for us to escape from Rena. Because I'm guessing that's where they teleported us to.
Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
Or them again. Was that what it always looked like? Or did something happen? Like some natural disaster? Yeah, we're screwed. Because not only before the Lenegis was given its power, now the Rena powering Lenegis to power the other, to power Rena. Basically a lot of powering up is happening. Also, the planet bloomed like a flower.
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to
Yeah,
reach
conduit.
here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The Flower of Oblivion.
I thought that the Renna planet was spherical.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
That was the one thing that we ate before the journey.
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
Okay, so this is not Renna. Another ship. It looks like a satellite, to be honest. And the same architecture from the
moving, but where are we?
Forbidden Zone.
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shionne!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Shionne, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No,
Oh, how can you
I'm
forget?
the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say
Well,
I
she
didn't
did say
feel
that she
alone.
felt lonely without
did.
touching others,
Always.
smacking Law,
So
hugging
numb to
Rinwell.
your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
Well, that if none of us die in a horrific death.
What the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell.
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Can we even go back? Nope.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me.
But then again, how did the people of Rena live? Did they only live on that
so surreal.
outside
Looks like
thing?
a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Well, if they lied about that, then I'm sure they probably lied
Who's the
about
wise guy that
where
saw
people came from.
that beam of light joining Dana and Rena? It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Okay, nothing's at the back. Oh crap, there's 3 levels. Okay, so I'm guessing we're the lower ones. That person inside of that pod.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
So he can't talk out of his own mouth, but through a machine.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
But the ship
we
brought
did not
us.
come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
Ah, so
What do
they
you mean,
serve Great Spirit.
Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
Whoever the Red Spirit is.
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on DAEQ FAEZOL, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second.
I guess he's different
Could this
because
Great Spirit
the Great
be the
Spirit
true
cannot
sovereign
control
of Rena?
his
The
ship
true ruler of Rena. It could be
or
the same
thing.
thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrecht 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
That makes sense.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So
In
that the
other
Great
words, Rena's
Spirit
been
can
a greedy
feed off of
bitch.
Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest.
And that's the real purpose of how the slavery started.
From Dana.
Just for them to work and then
This is all
accrue
happening because
all
of
of
me.
the astral energy
Nevertheless,
of different
you
elements.
still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
Yeah, that's inevitable.
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan.
Because if Rena's acting
as we
like
speak, Dana's
a
energy
greedy
is being
idiot,
harvested
then we
en
have to
masse
kill its
and
master,
transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the
which is the Great Spirit.
It will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
Well, unfortunately, we killed 3 of your people.
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
So we got no choice but to say yeah.
Just how many of you are there?
Because if he said no, then he wouldn't fix the ship.
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits DAEQ FAEZOL.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
Okay, so we have to probably go to level 3.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevric 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter.
Maybe.
Let's find out.
Alright, so the lower levels is something different. Oh, there's humans here.
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Hmm? Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrecht 35 when he mentioned that overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Have you guys lived up here in DAEQ FAEZOL with Hevrecht 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrecht 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shionne and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to
I'm not going to bother
scientifically
to answer
confirm
that
it
because
for
I already
myself,
did about
but
the
from what I understand,
Renans
the type
not
of
seeing the
cloaking
red
they
cloak.
use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used
Because it
hypnosis
doesn't work on
devices
Danans,
and
but
information
whatever.
control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrecht 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
Well, I
No
doubt
way.
she knows
If we
anything.
went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright.
I mean, she did say that they went
After all
into
this
status,
time,
so
there's
years have
nothing to be
passed.
gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions. Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Okay, so
Apparently
this
not.
is
Please,
intriguing.
tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
Wait, what? I didn't get it.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
Well, so Danans created
There aren't,
Renan.
But there are
I mean,
Helganquil.
Helganquils.
That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Dahnans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Dahnans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astral arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries.
They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies.
Why is the camera panning like that?
Needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
I mean, they did lie to you
Just
about
when I
the
think we're
crown
getting to the
jewel
bottom
and
of
all
it
that
all,
crap.
Some new revelation smacks us in the face.
And not only that, Renans and
Let's
Dahnan
hope this
all
is our
look the
last
same.
revelation for a while.
So you assume if Renans are from different planet that have different features or characteristics.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans and Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contests began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
So it's gonna look like
Hazard
that from now
35
on.
mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment
Alright,
to
so the
gather
Renans were
ourselves.
created by
I know
the
all of this is a lot to believe and take in.
those
but
things, right?
I think it's fair to say that we found the answers we've been looking for.
Agreed.
Wait, so did the Danans
Though I'll
create
admit that
those
I never
machines, and those
expected it
machines
to all
created
boil
the
down to
Renans?
Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
What? Well,
Either
yeah, I know.
way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much.
Okay, so if they're originally Danans, then they weren't created then.
Why don't we all take some time to think things over before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot. Everything we thought we knew, it was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
Okay, so let's see what the other parties are doing. Oh, there's more people. That's brought up out of nowhere.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans and the Great Spirit and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and
Okay,
the
so
Great
this
Spirit are the
plot
ones
twist
who are
revelation, I'm
responsible.
really confused.
I'm confused! I'm confused right now, G.
At the same time,
So are
I
the
realize
Danans
that
and
not every
Renans
Danan
the
is
same,
necessarily going
or
to
are
believe that
they
either.
like
I
different?
know you're already aware
Because
of
it did
this,
say that
but the list of
the
grievances the
Helgans
Danans
were
have
created
against
by
the
the
Renans
Renans.
is long.
I mean the
And
Danans.
understandably so. And if people then
Unless
find
I'm
out
reading
that
it
they're
wrong.
all actually one and the same. Yeah. I don't think they're
But
going to
the
take to it too
Danans
kindly.
created the
Even
Helgans
just among the Danans,
for
I'm sure there
more
will be some who
manpower.
emerge with power and some who won't.
and they lived on
I
Renna,
think if we can find a way to get rid of that
and the
imbalance,
Helgens created
then we'll be in a
the people
truly
of
good place.
Renan
Well, first we
that
can try
live
to
on
figure out what to
Lenegus.
do about the existing conflicts we have.
But they just said
Yeah.
that they
It'd be
originally
nice if one
are
day people could learn to get past their hatred like
um,
Rinwell did.
It's no small task.
Danans.
We can't pretend like the past didn't
So,
happen and ask people to
what's what?
forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danon mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking...
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
If Renans end up living together with Danons again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danons probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah. I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it,
That's probably because it's greedy and wants more power, just like Vol'dran.
Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons. But I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do, or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
the thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
And now one more person, Dohalim. We'll see, like Kisara said, she's taken at the worst.
Making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shionne. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain, putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in. If we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So,
I guess Menancia will be a nice hope for all the Renans
to stay on Lenegis,
congregate.
Come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule,
like they can all just live there
right
along with the Renans.
Towards us Renans.
I mean, Danans.
Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only blazing sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to
Alphen
represent
kind
the
of become
Renans?
like the...
Yes.
Well, he's the sovereign.
I'm asking quite a lot of you.
But what the sovereign do is be the ruler of both Dana and Rena.
Enter Danan society without any bloodshed.
I think that should be his role if things go our way.
Same as ever, Dohalim.
And nothing bad happens.
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
Nope.
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shionne? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Ah, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering, she said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain, but if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shionne. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dan is still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world.
I'm guessing the Great Spirit is going to be our final boss, final boss.
Because
that's what they're trying to set up.
That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that.
Because we defeated the 5 kings, and Forward was built up to be the final boss of that saga.
You're saying there's a chance?
Now for this, it looks like the Great Spirit is going to be the final one.
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shionne tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shionne's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shionne's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shionne.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's Great Spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our minds are made up. Let's go.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
Well, that was a very big info dump, and I'm just going to leave it out there. Honestly, the story now is getting a bit confusing because it's just like one race made another race, and all that stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think. Make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.